I'm on the trail of another endangered species this morning.
But this one isn't the cute and cuddly kind.
Out there is the Southern Ocean, and it's home to what's probably the world's most feared animal.
The thing is, plenty of people, including me, reckon he's one of the most misunderstood as well.
This is Port Lincoln, and it's from here that you can encounter one of the most in-your-face wildlife experiences you'll find anywhere on the planet. If you haven't guessed it yet, I'm going great white shark diving. Now, I've got to tell you, this doesn't exactly sit well with me. I mean, this cage is going to be between me and whatever's out there, but you only have to look online to see that great whites will have a good go at these bars if they feel like it. The thing is, they're an easy target and the media always has a field day when there's an encounter with humans. So I'm keen to know what our captain, Andrew Wright, who sees them every day, thinks.
Well, Tim, there's not too many animals on the planet that can eat you. I think that's probably the primal fear that humans have, is that there's this creature in the ocean capable of killing them. And that's something that runs through everyone's mind when they jump in the ocean. But look, at the end of the day, if you look at the statistics, you've got a better chance of dying driving to the ocean, let alone jumping in it.
So why then do people that want culling or different practices put in place, why and how do they get such a loud voice?
Well, they say the squeaky wheel gets the oil, you know, and a lot of it just comes down to a misunderstanding. You know, people have got this idea that there's thousands of great whites and their populations are exploding, and you know, we've got to do something about it to maintain our position at the top of the food chain. We just can't accept that there's creatures out there that are higher up the chain in certain areas than what we are.
What's their nature really like?
Oh, look, I mean, you'll see for yourself today. Well, hopefully you'll see for yourself today. I mean, of course, there's every chance that, you know, we might see a shark. I mean, there was 7 there yesterday and 9 the day before, but who's to say? You know, it's a big wide ocean, they've got a tail. But for the most part, they're just cruising around, just sussing it out. And when there's a couple around at once, if there is a pecking order, they get on reasonably well together. But they do their own thing. Like, they're not a pack hunter, they're not scheming together to get the bait. They're doing their own thing, but they do that with respect to the other sharks that are around. But once we get out there, I mean, we go to Neptune Islands, and that's the largest colony of New Zealand fur seals anywhere in Australia. You know, there's the best part of 40,000 fur seals there. And if you're going to find a shark, you've got to go to the spots where the sharks go to eat. You know, I mean, they go to the Neptunes to feed on seals. It's right in the middle of the pupping season at the moment, so hopefully all the planets align and we have a good day. Enough about the sharks, Tim. I mean, you've obviously come a long way to see them. What's going through your mind?
Oh, look, I'm nervous but excited. Like a lot of the bigger predatory wildlife, once I've had an experience with them, I tend to think very differently of them or appreciate them. And, you know, I'm not sure what to expect out there, but I'm hoping for sharks. Yep. I'm hoping to see them doing their wild thing and come home with a bit more knowledge.
Yep, well, look, fingers crossed that a few turn up.
Yeah, I hope so.
Anyway, we'll enjoy the trip down. We've got a lovely day, beautiful weather. We've turned it on for you. Yeah, so that's half the trip.
It's a 3-hour ride out to Neptune, which gives you plenty of time to think about what's ahead.
We're looking for one of the ocean's largest predators, and I'm going to jump in the water and have a swim with it. Maybe something this size. Could you imagine that? Hey, Lizzie.
Hey, any waggle-eye eggs yet?
I haven't been up there today.
How long have we been waiting?
Oh, you tell me. We've tried many times, but this could be it.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm going up there, fingers crossed.
All right.
Here at the Australian Reptile Park, we're all excited about a special breeding program we have underway.
Is today the big day?
I'm checking on a female dwarf king brown snake.
What are you hiding in there, little girl?
2 months ago, I introduced a male into the female's enclosure.
In you go, mate. There she is. What do you reckon?
Dwarf king browns are also known as waggle eyes and are incredibly rare. So captive breeding programs like this could be the key to their survival. I'm really excited to find out if we've got successfully fertilised eggs.
And today could be a world first. If she's
going to lay eggs, and if she has eggs inside her, it's got to be close to the date. Amazing. This is awesome, we've got eggs, but we're only halfway. Hopefully the eggs are fertile and this could be the first clutch to ever hatch.
Come on, darling. That's it. That's it.
Now I need to remove the eggs and set them up in an artificial incubator. Now in the wild, a snake might find a perfect spot that's climatically controlled to hatch those eggs. That can be difficult to provide sometimes within their enclosure, so we use a whole room that's the perfect temperature and perfect environment to hatch the little snakes.
There it is. The egg of a dwarf king brown. A little egg for a little snake. White gold, if you ask me.
I've been to Fraser Island off the Queensland coast a number of times, but I've never experienced anything like this. People come here for the long stretch of golden beach, lakes with crystal clear water and sunny skies. Not today though. This weather front looks like it could do some real damage. And whilst it might make most of the island's animals run for cover, there's one species I know that will just love it. They won't be out till after dark, so the best I can do is sit this out and wait. There's a familiar call I can hear. It's a red-backed toadlet, and they're all over the place. The trouble is finding one.
Now, the tricky part is they throw their call. So when you hear it just like that, doesn't mean he's right there. There he goes. There he is. Look at that. And it's a red-backed toadlet. That's a little male. And that depression there, well, that's his nest. He's actually padded that out. He probably had a slight depression there, but he's pushed that down.
That's a big job for a little fella. Now, in a nest, you'd expect to find some eggs, and I'm a little disappointed there's none here.
Now, you might think, why is a frog laying its eggs on the dirt? And that's the intriguing thing about this species. Now, the trick that these frogs have, he sits in that nest, he calls females, they come, she lays her egg, he fertilises them, and then he sits there and guards that nest. Now, the reason they do that is because they don't live near permanent water, their tadpoles have to hatch and morph into frogs really quickly. But my guess is that this rain that's coming now, it's sparked them into gear. It's early in the breeding season, so the fact there aren't any eggs in that nest means he's ready. He's built the nest, he's calling, he wants a female to come, and she'll lay her eggs in there.
Great little characters, these fellas. Now, as always, I return him to his home just as I found him.
I'll cover him back up. Hope you get a girlfriend, little mate.
Now, from one end of the scale to the other, there are toadlets found all over Fraser Island. But one thing I'm glad I haven't seen up to this point is this beast. Behold the all-conquering cane toad.
Come here, mate. I don't normally stop for cane toads, but look at the size of that. Now, at the last little red-backed toadlet spot, a native Australian frog, I didn't see any cane toads, and I was very happy about that. But a couple of Ks up the road, and there you go. That's the biggest one I've ever seen. You suck an air in when they're a little bit threatened. They take that air in, try and make themselves look bigger. This is one of the worst environmental disasters Australia has suffered. Introduced in the 1950s to try and eat a cane beetle, and now they devastate Australian wildlife. And I want to show you exactly how. It's because of these two bumps up on the shoulders. Now, they're glands and they excrete a poison if the animal's stressed. Now, for example, if I'm a python or a monitor or a mammal like a quoll and I try to eat a cane toad, now let's say a python, he's going to try and take it head first. And as soon as he opens his mouth over that cane toad's head, he hits the glands here. And you can already see, just in the time I've picked him up, he's excreting that poison out. Now, if I was to ingest that,
I'd be in real strife. Maybe enough to kill me. Certainly enough to kill our precious Australian wildlife. I gotta tell you, I don't like him, but I'm impressed. Look at the size of it. I have never seen a toad so big. When did they get so big? Now, there's no place for cane toads in the Australian environment, so I'm gonna take him back to the ranger station. They can look after him. Great Southern Ocean, and I'm on my way out to meet one of the world's greatest predators. We set off early this morning from Port Lincoln in South Australia, and Captain Andrew has given me a little insight into what I'm about to encounter. It's been a 3-hour journey out to the Neptune Islands, where we'll soon be dropping anchor. The reason is right there on the rocks. There's a healthy population of Australian sea lions and New Zealand fur seals right there on the island, and that's what brings the sharks here. Great whites move around, never staying in the one spot too long. But the Neptune Islands offer such an abundance of food that one has been recorded hanging around for 92 days. We're here in early December, right in the middle of the seals' breeding season. There's about 4,000 pups born here every year. We're not banking on the seals putting their lives on the line for us, so the crew's chucking burley overboard to attract the sharks. Great whites have an amazing sense of smell. They can detect just a few drops of blood in the water up to 5 kilometres away. There's no chance this one was that far though. We've made contact within a few minutes. We've just seen our first shark, and I knew something was going on because all of the seagulls here lifted and they just moved over there. And then out of the deep comes a big grey mass, our first shark. This place is alive. There's seals and their pups on the shore and in the water. There's birds everywhere. Tuna at the back of the boat, just chopping up the burley. It's easy to understand why the sharks are here. It's time for me to get suited up and in the water. There's still no concrete data on how many great whites are left out in the oceans. So it's fair to say that whatever I see today, I should be grateful for. It's my turn, into the deep blue, the great unknown. Good luck. This is just incredible. No sooner have I gone under and the sharks are here. Just look at them. No wonder they're the most feared animals in the ocean. The odds on being attacked by one of these terrifying fish are astronomically high. But can you imagine it? This is one of the scariest experiences out there. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking the behaviours I've just shown you are exactly how great whites are in the water, all snarling teeth and thrashing tails. Well, that's how they're usually depicted in the media, but let me show you how they can be. On the whole, these monsters of the deep just go about their business. Cruising around, they largely keep to themselves. Their main diet is fish, but look at these schools. They hardly seem bothered by the presence of their biggest predator. Now that doesn't mean to say I'm going to jump in and have a swim with them. But don't be fooled by the continual feed of stories suggesting the oceans are filled with great whites, ready to devour anyone who pops a toe in the water.
That was truly amazing. They come out of nowhere and they're so big, but at the same time graceful and majestic. But that Southern Ocean's cold. I need to get out of this wetsuit.
I can safely say that the experience will live with me for a lifetime, but it wasn't at all what I was expecting.
So, you know, at some points there I was sort of hoping, not expecting, but hoping that a shark was going to, you know, butt into the cage and ram his head in and try and eat me, but they were in fact gentle and majestic and graceful, and you know, that I guess is a very different perspective, because most people would think they're going to try and eat them through the cage, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a whole raft of guidelines that, you know, that we've obviously got to abide by in doing the tours that we do, and minimising and certainly avoiding contact with the cage, between the cage and the animal, is right up high on that list sort of thing. So I mean, our guys work very hard to ensure that that doesn't happen.
Working with animals day in, day out, I get to witness individual characters. It's no different for Andrew and the sharks.
Who's the one there with half a fin?
Yeah, that's our old favourite. His name's Chopper. So yeah, it looks like he's had his dorsal fin, got the top of it chopped off. Whether it's from another shark or tangled up in something, and it's sort of chafed through. But no, he's fairly regular, that guy. He's up sort of 4.5 metres now. So he puts on a good show.
How many of them can you tell individually, and do you get the same sharks turn up?
Look, we get a lot of the same sharks. I mean, when they come to Neptune's, they turn up here for a period of time, become temporary resident because of the seal colony. Some will only stick around for a couple of days, some will stick around for up to a couple of months, actually. And like Chopper, for instance, I mean, he turned up again about 10 days, 2 weeks ago sort of thing, so hopefully he's here for a while longer.
And so that raises the importance of the other side of the work that you do. So you bring people out to have an experience with sharks, but you do a lot of research at the same time. What's involved in that?
I mean, a lot of the research is passive observation sort of thing that we make and record. I mean, we've got to log down all sorts of environmental factors to see if that plays a part. You know, weather conditions, wind, tide, all of that sort of stuff.
I see a behavioural change in them here now. When they go in, they're just cruising along so gently, and then they want a bit of food and the speed picks up. Do you get to know individual characters and how do behaviours change?
Look, they're all their own shark sort of thing. Like there's no one general characteristic sort of thing. And yes, it does change day by day. But you know, your sharks that are slow and almost lazy, I mean, they seem to always be like that. And then you've got the little guys that are just full of energy, like a 5-year-old kid that
like
are just
me.
Oh mate, they're just running around like madmen sort of thing.
5 sharks there at once a minute ago.
Yes.
Is that about as many as you'd expect on a day?
Oh, look, we're having a good day. I mean, today's certainly been above average, you know, shark-wise. I mean, we were quite lucky that, first shark turned up while we're doing the safety briefing. I mean, no one listens to safety briefing, but geez, first world problems, you know. So, but yeah, I think we're up to about 6 or 7 different sharks today, and as you said, 5 at once. I mean, to have 5 apex predators within your sight, you know, at one time is fantastic.
That's fantastic, and an experience I'll never forget.
They might be one of the most feared creatures on Earth. And let me tell you, when I was down there, my heart was racing, cage or no cage. But just being in their presence and experiencing their gentle nature, well, for me at least, that's turned my fear to respect. Hey, Kel.
Hey.
What are you chopping up?
Just some possum food. Bet I can guess where you're going.
Yeah, you got it. I'm heading to the wildest.
Have they hatched yet?
No, any day.
Good luck.
Thank you. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
2 months later, and it's time to find out if those eggs have hatched.
Look at you. Amazing.
This is exactly what I've been hoping for. Baby waggle eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Successfully breeding this species is a world first.
Beautiful. I gotta call John. Tim to John.
Yeah, Tim.
Hey John, you got to make your way up to the venom room. You're in for a little treat.
Yeah, okay, yep, all right.
John Weigel, the reptile park owner, found and discovered this dwarf king brown species in the Kimberley region of Western Australia. That's why their last name is Weigeli, named after him. That's why it makes this not only a world first and a good achievement, but we're really proud because we've done this for John.
Hey, it is what I was hoping.
It certainly is.
This the Weigelis?
Yep, all 6 hatched.
Well, isn't that great? That's the first time in Australia. That's fantastic.
Watch out, mate. They're little but still pack a punch. I don't need to tell you that, do I?
This is very exciting, and when you work at a reptile park, this is the sort of thing that makes it worthwhile, because I know the guys have been working a long time trying to get some successful breeding from these snakes, and yeah, they put it together. It's fantastic.
These hatchlings are now important pioneers. If we can continue to breed them in captivity, maybe one day we can help the species if they're at risk in the wild.
I better set them up in their little enclosures.
Well, good on you. I gotta go back to my mundane world, but well done.
Well, you found the species.
Well, that was the easy part. Yeah, this is the juicy part. Well done. That's very exciting.
Breeding the dwarf king browns is a real highlight, but being able to show them to John on top of that, well, just makes it better. He's really humble, but the fact is, he discovered this species, and it's a credit to the whole team here that we can proudly show them to him.